For Liz Barry, writing has been a life's journey.
The writing started when I was like 4 years old. I wrote my first story, I think, when I was 4, and it's really completely out of my control. It just comes.
Much of her material has come from her own life experience. Her first novel, Flow, is about a girl dealing with chronic pain. It hasn't been published, but that could soon change.
Actually, just this morning, met with someone who's quite interested in the idea and has me meeting now with a literary agent from the States, from a rather large publisher this weekend. So she helped me this morning for about 3 hours write a pitch sheet, and we're going to pitch the novel on Saturday.
Quite a surprise, considering she had no plans of coming to this writers' conference. But at the last minute, someone paid her way to go. And now, the payoff could be huge for Liz, a dream come true.
I'm still completely flabbergasted at this point. I had no idea that anything this big would happen.
But Liz is not alone, nor is her dream an isolated one. Each person at the Word Guild conference in Guelph, Ontario, has caught the writing bug in one way or another.
This is the 6th year of Write Canada, and it is a conference to help beginners to professionals really hone their skills as writers, and also it's a fantastic networking event.
But what sets this conference apart is the common denominator: faith. There aren't many events for writers who are Christian, but the small pool is starting to grow.
Actually, one of the things we stress is that our conference and all our services with the Word Guild are for writers and editors who are Christian, which means that we write in all genres. We write for business, we write for Globe and Mail, national publications, as well as Christian publications like Faith Today, Christian Week. And yeah, we were talking authors, Canadian Christian authors.
It was here Sandra Reimer first got her break.
I published my first article 6 years ago while I was waiting for my daughter to be born. I thought, what can I do? I'm off work, the baby's not here yet. So I wrote an article and it got published, and then that year I went to this conference, got some education, some skills.
For any writer, getting published is one of the biggest rewards and challenges. Add to the fact that there are relatively few Christian publishers out there, and these writers have their work cut out for them.
So what did you think of Fred's piece then?
But the conference isn't about just getting a break. It's about becoming a better writer. And there are plenty of opportunities for aspiring authors to get some good one-on-one counsel and feedback from their peers. Reimer says the conference is also about raising the bar for Christian writing.
That's one of the things we are so committed to as the Word Guild, is to help our members produce excellent work and to not put their book or article out there before it's ready. We really encourage people who are self-publishing, get some critique, not from family and friends, from some peers, and then from some professionals. And in that way, we're building the reputation of Canadian Christian writers and authors by saying, okay, here's some people who are committed to putting out quality work. It's not junk.
Small as it may be, write your own place.
Keynote speaker Rudy Wiebe is a good example. His novels have won several prestigious awards, most recently the Charles Taylor Award for nonfiction. And while faith is a key element in his life and writing, he's here to help others along the writing journey.
Simply tell them the story, the account, some stories about what it's like to be to live a writing life, and use myself as an example, not as someone that they should follow, but just to tell them this is the way the writing life has worked for me, and has been what has happened to me, and these are the joys and these are the messes that you get into.
Because you never know as a writer how your writing is going to touch a needy heart.
Grace Fox knows the joys and messes firsthand. She's leading one of the seminars on trying to get published and helping others through the often agonizing work of writing.
You're going to have to say no to the outside world, and you will find yourself in solitary confinement. But let me tell you, it pays off. It really pays off.
But the payoff isn't about getting published. It's about fulfilling a call.
Getting into the game, I started it just because I sensed the Lord saying, write. I didn't know what that would look like, so I went to a writer's conference. Going to a writer's conference is absolutely key for anybody who senses that writing is maybe on their agenda, or the Lord is giving them the nudge.
Though nudged, she didn't actually start writing until 20 years later.
And I lived a lot of life between 1979 and my first writers' conference in 1999. And it was difficult stuff that I went through, but during that time, God grew me and gave me material to write.
That became the material for her devotional series for busy moms. While writing is God-inspired, getting things to paper takes a lot of work and sacrifice.
And you have to be willing to stick with it, to persist, to have a teachable spirit, because we might say, God told me to write this, don't touch my stuff. But an editor needs to be able to hone it. What if it's poorly written? Great message, poorly written. Who's going to read that? And so it needs to be done in a well-crafted way. You just have to get to it.
Diligence is key. So is learning how to take criticism and the inevitable rejection.
The best advice somebody ever gave me as I was launching into it was, if God is in this, don't quit until He tells you to. And I've often thought of that. Yeah, the rejection pile grows fatter and fatter, but you just keep at it until God tells you to quit.
While writing can be arduous, it's also fulfilling.
It's like a fire in the heart that will not go away. I can't not write. I know that that's what God has put in my heart to do.
And it's that fire that keeps Liz Berry going. For her, writing has been as much about expression as it is about healing.
A lot of it had to do with the idea of letting go. And it sounds really cliche, letting and going with the flow, but really letting go and let God and being still and letting Him use you to purposes you never expected.
And the prospect of a book deal has been an unexpected blessing on her writing journey. But even if it doesn't come through, she knows she'll keep on writing.
Go where God sends you when you're writing. He will tell you where to go. He will tell you what to write.
In Guelph, Ontario, Denise Lodde, 100 Huntley Street.